Hello and welcome to Nostalgic Merchandise, where we look at old catalogs like the one we're looking at now. So we're still going through the ACME Merchandise Distributors Catalog from 1974. We've gotten as far as the outdoor and sporting equipment, and now we're going to get on to some bikes. You know, I'm going to pass over the baby carriages here. This stuff, I don't know, it just doesn't do it for me in terms of nostalgia. If anything, like, I can't believe that when I was a baby, you know, I was born in 1980, this would have been kind of a normal pram, like a normal stroller baby carriage thing. And to me, this looks like an antique. And I guess it kind of is. And that means I'm old. But if I wasn't old, I wouldn't be here doing a nostalgic style catalog flip through. So why don't we just get on with the good stuff? I want to draw your attention here. I'm just going to fix the zoom a little bit so that we can really focus in on these wonderful vintage bikes. So we've got some 10 speeds by ProMark and then some CCM bikes. CCM means Canada Cycle and Motor, and CCM still exists. Both of our daughters have CCM bikes, but I don't think the bikes are made quite as well as they used to be. We've got this bike here though. This is super nostalgic for me personally because I had a bike just like that when I was 5 years old. It was the boys coaster bike with the banana seat and had the chrome fenders and the chain guard and the 24-inch sissy bar. I don't even know what a sissy bar is, but I totally had that bike, and my dad must have just broke the bank to get that. That was $50 in 1974, I should say. When I had this, I guess it was 10 years later, but it was a brand new bike, one of the only brand new things I ever got as a kid, and it had sparkly handlebars and a sparkly seat, and I loved it. I definitely remember having this kind of chain lock with the kind of rubbery plastic clear guard sleeve thing on the outside. Yeah. And then we got some tricycles, and what calls out to me here is actually not the objects, but the logo here. This is just such a great logo. I'm gonna have to zoom in post and kind of give you a nice close-up of that. I don't know, it's pretty cool. It's got these wings and kind of like a Van Halen logo situation at the top there. Great badge logo-y thing. Almost looks like a police badge. If I was a kid and I had that as the front badge on my bike, I would be pretty stoked. And wagons. What can we see here? What's interesting? We totally had these candy striped swing sets. Not this big. We had something more just like 2 or 3 swings on it. Definitely had the seesaw on it. And the thing about these, if you had one of these in the 80s, you know that if you swung too hard, these things would tip over a little bit. And it was a fun game trying to figure out how high you could swing without actually tipping the whole swing set over. I think we only ever tipped over the swing set like once or twice. I don't really remember anyone getting hurt. Never had a pogo stick in my family. And binoculars. I mean, what can I say? Binoculars. My wife got me a telescope for my birthday a few years ago, and it was one of those refracting telescopes. I think that's what you call it. It's like with the mirror. Maybe it's not a refracting. I think this is a refracting telescope. Well, we can find out right now. Yeah, this is a refracting. So mine was a mirror telescope. And so the light comes in, bounces off a mirror, and it magnifies somehow. Anyway, it was the hardest thing to use. I couldn't keep it focused on planets or stars long enough for them to stay in my view before I had to kind of position it and chase the stars in the sky. And it was a lot harder to use a telescope to look at planets and stars than you think. And so I lost interest in that. It's also dark and cold outside a lot when you're using it, and I guess it just wasn't that satisfying for me. Yeah, so what do we have here? I guess we've got guns. I mean, this is Canadian, so what are we, are these real guns? These are shotguns. Yeah, these are actual shotguns, so I guess for hunting and whatnot. But I can't imagine the handguns were the real deal. Crosman, I believe, is like a BB gun brand. I don't know, maybe these are actual pistols. I don't know. I mean, here I'm betraying the fact that I actually don't know much about pistols. I thought Daisy and Crosman were like air gun brands or BB gun brands. Maybe they are. So we've got some gas lawnmowers. And of course, I think everyone who had an electric mower had this mower growing up. We had this one. And I hated it. I hated it so much. I wish we could be like the cool families that had gas mowers and didn't have to like flip the cord every time it got in the way. That was irritating. One day we did end up getting a lawnmower, like a gas mower, I should say. And mowing was a lot more fun after that. Yeah. We got some garden hoses, some rakes. I can tell you that rakes that we buy today are all plastic. It's really hard to find a metal rake. And so we're hanging on to our metal one for as long as we can. I actually ended up doing a little repair job on our metal rake because I really don't want a plastic one. My dad had almost all of these tools, I would say, except for the chainsaw. We weren't chainsaw people. I don't know why we didn't have a chainsaw. It seemed like something we should have, but I'm pretty sure we had every single Black & Decker electric power tool seen here growing up. You know, some things actually just haven't changed at all. Staple guns look pretty much the same. I don't think the technology's changed a whole lot. I have something like one of these right here, and didn't even realize it. This was a little heirloom I inherited from my wife's grandma. So when she passed away a few years ago, she left us the contents of her house, and I picked this up just as a little memento, just because I liked how solid and vintagey it looked. I just like how these old tape measures look. It's only in inches, which is a very old-timey thing in Canada, now that it's even made in Canada. But anything made in Canada today is going to have centimeters and meters. But this is the 16-foot Ultra Lock Lufkin. And the one here, the closest one I can find, I guess, is the 12-foot Ultra Lock. And this was $5. And so with inflation, that's probably somewhere in the 20s. Is that right? Maybe $25, $30 today for a tape measure. It's still kicking. And interesting, they do have a millimeter measurement on the case, but not on the actual tape. So the difference between item H and item I here is that one has a yellow tape and one has a white tape. I think white tape measures look kind of badass, but I also like a good yellow tape measure. Now, one thing that I love about tape measures and rulers is the typography. And I would consider the lines, like the measure marks, right down to the 32nds of an inch here, if that's what those are. It all just looks so cool and everything fits so tight. And it's the same with this sheet here. Like I'm seeing the typography in this kind of yellow pages style directory here. And it's just a stupid page of locations and addresses and like an index, but there's something satisfying about typography that's neatly ordered. And that's the graphic designer in me here. So where was there an ACME location in British Columbia where I live? So there was one on Main Street, or no, West 8th, and then in North Van, one in Abbotsford, which is a little closer to where I am, and then in Ontario. I never remembered one. I don't remember one being anywhere where I lived when we grew up in Ontario. And I think the closest they got to us was not very close at all. Thunder Bay is, you might as well be in a different province. That's very far from southern Ontario. Must be more of a West Coast thing, a Western Canada thing. I can see British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, very Western Ontario, like Northwestern Ontario. Great font there, very similar actually to the style of typeface used on the measuring tape here. And back in the 1970s, you had some credit card options that are, I don't think they exist anymore. ChargeX, Master Charge. These days, maybe I guess that's MasterCard. People paid by cash back then. Here's another thing that I actually have today is one of these Dymo label makers. So the next time I come here, I will get into the radios and the car stereos and some of the car accessories. And I think it'll get better after that, but we'll save that for another time. Thank you very much for joining today. I hope you enjoyed this little flip through and walk down memory lane. Let me know if you remember any of the products that you saw today in this catalog or in previous installments on this channel. I'll see you in the next one.